Hello, people. Welcome to my trip to reality, and I'm not sure if this is it's an episode, but I think it will be a bonus one. The reason why is because I feel like I've done this once before, where I did the photographer versus influencer. I want to talk about something. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a segment, but sometimes I feel like I have stuff to talk about that's not really photography related, but they're goddamn important things and just important in general that affects everyone. And this is one of those things. So I want to talk about politically political correctness and just people's view on like everything and just how you should treat people and the thing about like I've heard about this just on YouTube and on podcasts that that a gay couple tried to buy a cake and the baker said no and all those sort of things. And I'll guess I'll bring up my point of view of things. The reason why I bring up my point of view of it is because I feel that I have I'm very let me just bring this out. I hardly do research on things. People are shutting off the episode right now. Like I'm not gonna listen to this goddamn idiot. No, but I don't do much research. The only thing that I'm bringing is my point of view of things and what I think and how I feel about these things. And I think a lot of people I guess will agree with me, sometimes argue with me about these topics, but I just really wanted to point it out. And one of the reasons why I actually bought this, just finished off the episode 55, and I'm now just right after felt like what, I need to bring this up. For the first thing, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I heard about a person named Jordan Peterson from the Joe Rogan podcast. And he's a Canadian clinical psychologist. Yes, I'm Googling him right now as we speak. And it's interesting how he talks about making people feel better and how to just improve on life. And he had I'll dive into this because it's very, very interesting. Believe me. He talked on Joe Rogan's podcast about, and you can listen to that podcast as well, obviously. But I'm bringing these things up, just because it's a broad thing. It's not just about him now. I'm gonna talk about Donald Trump again. Donald Trump. I never talk about him. Okay, cool. No, but Jordan Peterson has these conventions on colleges and everything, and just making people feel better about their lives. And one of the philosophies that he talked about was, when you set goals, underestimate yourself. Don't overestimate yourself. Just for example, I'll bring out a simple example. Just understand what he's talking about. Let's say you can do 10 push-ups. He says just underestimate yourself in that way. Set the bar really goddamn low and do 5 push-ups. And so then you reach that goal, okay? Next week you might do 10 push-ups. Okay, cool. Next week after that, 20 push-ups. So you start really goddamn low. Even though on the first week you can do 30. Start with 5, then 10. To successfully, slowly but successfully step up that ladder of success. And I was a little bit torn because we've always heard about like aim high, and one of my dreams is become the world's best photographer. And the reason why I have that dream and my philosophy about it, the reason why I have such a high goal, I know it's basically impossible to achieve, but nothing is impossible, okay? But I know it's a really, really high and hard dream to just achieve. The reason why I have that dream also is because I never want to settle. I never want to put up my feet and go, yeah, okay, I'm cool, I'm good. I've done mine and now I'm good. No, I want to work hard, push, until I'm in the ground. That's what I believe in. Hard work pays off. Just look at The Rock, okay? I wish The Rock was here, right here, and like right now, and just like, hey, yeah, he's right. I'm like, yeah, damn right I am. Thank you, The Rock. Bye. He's not here. I'm just, my imagination. But yeah, he flipped. Instead of instead I can't talk English. Instead of having a high goal, switch it to have a really low goal and then go from there. I get that whether it's doing physical things as working out. If you do start low, you never hurt your body. You do 5 push-ups, you're not gonna hurt your body. If you push yourself until you cry and do 250 push-ups the first day, you're gonna cry and you're gonna be hurt, and you're not gonna be able to do push-ups that week. So there's that philosophy. And I guess he's famous and he's got a platform now. He's very mainstream. A lot of people probably have heard about him. But when he does these interviews, people want to just have their opinions about, what do you think about feminists? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I don't understand it. Honestly, I don't understand it. If he's a psychologist, and maybe he touches on these topics, if feminism is wrong or not, or whether it's I know I'm touching really touchy subjects, whether it's okay to be gay or stuff, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. Okay, first of all, I'm not against gays at all. I have a lot of friends who are gay. Cool? Yeah. And even that I have to defend myself on that level, just bringing that out, that's goddamn wrong. Because I feel that a lot of people right now are so goddamn touchy and feel about things. Here's my philosophy, okay? How I was raised and everything. Everything should be normal. Whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, you should earn the same amount of money. And I go, no shit, of course. And you should treat everyone equally. Yeah, of course. That's obvious. And what else? The thing about the racism, and I think this is a touchy-feely subject about that Baker thing. And Jim Jeffries, who's a comedian, interviewed this psychologist. I forgot his name. I had to bring up the on the internet, the Wikipedia. He interviewed Jordan Peterson, and he mentioned something about the gay couple who wanted to, or who asked Baker to, make them a cake, and he said no. And Jim Jeffries said, is the baker allowed to say no? And Jordan said, the psychologist said, yes, you are allowed. And yes, you are allowed to say no. You're not being forced. And then he said, okay, but what about this? In a restaurant, they didn't accept black people into the restaurant. But then they forced restaurants to serve the black people. Why is that different from the baker thing? And because first off, the baker, he should be allowed to bake anyone a cake. That's the baker's decision. But when a restaurant bans black people, it's not the restaurant's decision. It's not the owner's decision. And he was like, Jordan Peterson was like, yeah, okay, I get your point. I guess I was wrong. Like, just from person to person, and this is what I believe. And I guess it's very, really think about what you say. And I'm not a famous person or anything, and I'm not gonna get a lot of heat of whatever I'm saying. But I believe this is my opinion, okay? If you force someone to not be racist, or if you force someone to not be someone, or feels that feeling a certain way, if you force them, it's not gonna work. I'll take an example. You have a kid, and you force that kid to eat their vegetables, okay? They're not gonna be okay with that decision, but because they're being forced, they go, God damn it, alright, fine. I'll eat my goddamn broccoli. But they're not gonna like it because they're being forced against their own will. Now, I feel like that's wrong. Whether it's broccoli or whether it's you being a racist or not racist, or whether you're against gays or not, or whether you like feminists or not, you cannot force people. Now, I myself, again, it's ridiculous, but I feel like I have to point it out. I have nothing against feminists. I have nothing against blacks. No, of course I'm not racist. My thinking is, you should not force people, because if you force people into something, that's not gonna work. Once that kid has eaten their broccoli, they're gonna be like, fuck that broccoli, I don't want to eat that broccoli. But they're being forced to, so okay, that person does it. But whether and then the second meal, the third meal, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and sometimes the kid is like, okay, fine, I have to eat my broccoli now. I have to do it. Or the person goes, no, you know what? That's my decision if I want to eat that broccoli or not. And what I'm saying is, everyone has their opinion. Freedom of speech, basically. Now, what I believe in is I like and I support the fact that people are talking about these subjects over and over again. I'll give you an example. Let's say that I'm talking to you about a subject and telling you why racism is wrong. You might not understand how I put my analogy of why I think racism is wrong. You might not understand that, and you go, I hear you, but I don't see your point. But if someone else go ahead and says, this is why racism is wrong, and you're all of a sudden going, oh shit, good, okay, I got that. I have things to think about. Why did I point the viewer to that the viewer was racist and not me? Doesn't matter. Let me bring it out. Let me switch it then. I feel like this is where people are gonna turn, how with the Jordan Peterson, for example, they just, out of 1 hour interview, they put it into like 1 minute clip, and they just screw around with it so it sounds like he's saying really shocking things. Yeah. Anyways, the thing I like that people are bringing up racism and all of these things, it's good in a way, because you're getting a lot of people's point of view, and this is my point of view. If you're racist, if you're racist, if you don't like gays, if you're against or not against feminists or anything, it's up to you, okay? And it's also up to you to listen. You're not gonna be forced, okay? That's how I honestly feel. If you're racist, then I might have opinions about you. I don't have to speak my opinions. Or is it important that I speak them? It depends who the person is to me. I can tell that person how I feel, but I can't force you to feel something or to change something. That's completely up to you. So when people are bringing like Jordan Peterson into these interviews and everything, they always want to like, what are your stance on feminism? And why did you say this? And why did you say that? Hey, he's a psychologist. Ask him, instead of trying to get shit on him, ask him interesting things. And I feel like networks and news, whether it's in the news, I feel like they're just trying to get views, basically, and clickbaits and all that sort of shit. And what it boils down to is getting more money. People get corrupt because of money. And that's so I like, if you know me, I hate money. I hate I hate money. I understand it's a structure that works, but just because it works doesn't mean it's right. I believe in fighting. If you work hard on something, you deserve you deserve that profit of hard work. I believe in hard work. I'm not saying that everyone should be equal. You have to fight for it. You have to work hard for it. And then also another opinion about another thing that I just wanted to talk about was Donald Trump. Now that I'm getting older, I'm getting into these sort of things, and I get that now. I'm not watching Disney Channel anymore. I'm listening to important podcasts and stuff. And I think podcasts in general, they're so much more truthful than news, because news, they're clickbaits nowadays. Do I clickbait? I try not to, but if I want to bring up an important topic, like the photographer versus influencer thing, I know it's a popular episode, and that episode, I just felt like, you know what, I'm so heated about this, and I really need to bring this up, and I did, and I put my spin on things. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself before I talk about Donald Trump about how I feel. Everyone should be treated equally. That's fucking obvious. Everyone, if you want to be gay, lesbian, whatever, I don't care. I just care about you as a person. If you treat me well, I'm gonna treat you well. If you treat me like shit, I'm gonna ignore you. Cool? And that's how it should be. And it's like, to me, these things are obvious. And in the outside world, they should also be obvious. But people be like, oh, what do you stand on this and what do you stand on that? Hey, it's very obvious. It's very goddamn easy. Why are you complicating things and going nitpicking and stuff why? I know that you have to go in depth, obviously, but whether it's what is feminism nowadays, and is it right, is it wrong? Me personally, all I'm saying is, if a woman works 160 hours a month, and a man works 160 hours a month, same job, same position, they should earn the same amount of money, and that's obvious. But what I've heard also is, no, I'm not against feminism. I'm just gonna bring this up. A lot of people say, and what feminists say, is that women make less money than men. But apparently it's been proven wrong that, that's because, men earn more, but that's because they work more hours. They work more in general. They take these jobs that are more risky. And also the thing with pregnancy, the mother has to take leave and everything. So statistically, women make less because of those reasons, but that's because they chose to do less work. Because obviously, if you're pregnant, obviously you have to take leave, obviously. But this is how I feel, okay? If you're working 160 hours, whether you're a man or a woman, you should earn the same amount of money. If you're putting in the same amount of hours, the same amount of work, you should be paid equally, okay? And where I work, there are different levels of who earns what, But from there, I'm not saying that I earn the highest, and I don't. That's what I believe, Treat everyone equally. If you spend 160 hours, whether you're a man or a woman, you're gonna earn the same amount of money. Doesn't matter if you have a vagina or a goddamn penis. Okay? Cool. Now, I'm gonna go with 25 minutes, and let's talk about Donald Trump. Okay, cool. A lot of people hated Donald Trump in the beginning, and I guess yeah, I didn't like him because yeah, do I really have to bring that up? Donald Trump is a disrespectful son of a bitch. What I do admire with him and with Kanye is that they don't give a fuck. They can say whatever they want and they don't give a fuck. And whether they're wrong, whether they're right, whether it's gonna bring up chaos or not, they don't give a fuck. I respect that. What you then say, and how, you should be respectful, but if you have things to say, you feel like you need to bring that out, hey, bring them out. Just be as honest as you want to be, and be as true to yourself as you want to be, and just goddamn bring it out. Just say it, That's what I respect about Donald Trump and Kanye West. And I mean, why shouldn't you speak your mind? Obviously. And people were like, oh, that person thinks like that, and he thinks like that, and he said this, and he said that. Yeah, so say your thing. Don't be just like everyone else and agreeing and disagreeing. Make your own decisions about what you think and what you feel. It's... Anyways, what I'm seeing now is that a lot of people that hated Donald Trump is making goddamn good changes now. He said that he was going to be president. No one believed him. Bam! He became the president. That, you have to admire that. I don't care who you are. He shocked the goddamn world. Whether it's good or bad, that's fucking cool. Alright? Next thing. He asked Conor McGregor. He says things and he backs shit up. I can respect that as well. Having that attitude that I'm the fucking best. I have that attitude as well. I'm being very humble in that way of how I bring it out. But obviously I can be like that. And a lot of people might not like it. A lot of people just... You know what? Instead of hating on it, look up to it. Own your shit. If you feel a certain way, own that shit. And does this mean I'm a Donald Trump supporter? No. But as Joe Rogan said as well, and yes, I've been listening to Joe Rogan's podcast a little bit more nowadays, but if the president is making good changes, you obviously want to be on that person's side, whether he's a fucking asshole or not. If he's making good changes to a country, obviously you want to support that. Obviously. If you want to ruin that, if you want to just be like, yeah, he does great things to the country, but he's a goddamn asshole. Doesn't matter. He's the president. He is the one that's gonna make changes in the country, okay? That's his job. Whether people like him or not, he's doing the better things for the country. And if you do the better things for your country, then how can you argue with that? Now, whether you feel like that's good or bad, that's up to you. I heard about the thing, separating children and from their parents. No, that's not a good thing. That's a really fucking bad thing. And obviously I don't support that. But if things are good, and it's not so difficult to differentiate what is good and bad. Keeping immigrants off American soil, is that good or bad? Well, it depends. If it's gonna ruin the country and they're gonna go bankrupt, then everyone, including a lot of Americans, lose their goddamn jobs. If taking a lot of people in causes a lot of basically destruction, so everyone goes poor and everyone starts to die of starvation and stuff, then you might rethink that. Am I saying sacrifice those people, fuck those people in a bad position? No, but you have to be realistic. And I feel like if you're taking people in and that only brings good, it brings more jobs, that sort of thing, why not? If it's more difficult than that, yeah, then go into it a bit more. but I'm not gonna go there now. I feel like, and you get to know me better, and I'm trying to be as open as possible about things. And yeah. So, again, I need to repeat myself one more time. I think and I feel that a lot of things are obvious, but people in the world are trying to make things really confusing that doesn't really have to be confusing. Treat people equally. Make, if you put in hard work, you deserve, that benefit of whatever that hard work gets you. Hard work should pay off. If you're working 160 hours as a man or a woman, you should get paid the same amount of money. Things should be fair. And if you want to climb the ladder of success, you have to work hard for it. That's my goddamn opinion. Let me go 4 minutes, so it's a clean 30 minutes. Other than that, I get it that some things you have to go deeper in, but we live in a world now that there's gonna be an uprising on anything, on everything, and everything needs to have a group of people who's yelling that way and yelling the other way, and it's like, god damn it, are you kidding me? A lot of people, if you burn for something, fine, if that's your passion, cool, but don't lose track of things, For example, I'll talk about one more thing, and that's rappers, mumble rappers versus real rappers. And I talked to my little brother about this because he's influenced by these mumble rappers and the rappers who are rapping about, fucking bitches and ugly god with water, splashing your bitch with water and that sort of shit. And then you compare that to real rap like Eminem, or, by the way, I was on Eminem's concert, it was fucking great. But, or Tupac, or Notorious Biggie, or Jeezy, or, I just feel like, as an adult now, if you're gonna look up to someone, please don't look up to someone who has a lot of goddamn face tattoos and just rapping about fucking bitches and just living carelessly. That is someone you should not look up to. You should look up to someone that you want to be. And I guess that this thing gets merged in with the Instagram life and that sort of thing, just showing you the shiny things, and the children go, oh my god, cool, I want to be like that rapper, look how much money he has, yay, he's happy, he's alive, a lot of goddamn women, oh my god. You're looking at the fancy things, but what about the people or the rappers that might get a drug overdose and just feels like shit and needs to go to the hospital and that sort of thing? They don't show you that. The rappers don't show you that. No one shows you that. They only show you the beautiful things. And when they have a fucking shitty day or something, they don't show you that. But they show you when they get the money and the bitches and all that sort of thing. Everyone has the good things and the bad things. And guess what? If younger people are listening to this, I apologize for saying the word fuck, but I'm gonna go on a limb and go, you already know that word. And me, as an adult right now, I'm stupid enough to think that you don't know those words. You know probably a lot of ugly words. A lot of goddamn ugly words. And it's like, as a big brother, I'm like, yeah, I know what you know. Just be respectful, okay? Don't say them willy-nilly, because that willy-nilly thing was, that sounded like